This is Crown Television and you're watching the Grand News. Tonight, the 8th of June 2026. Before we get to look at the stories in detail, let's have a look at the stories making headlines. Independent Lusaka mayoral candidate Simon MWILA threatens legal action over ECZ candle symbol withdrawal. NKOMBO accuses state institutions of targeting MAZABUKA Central campaign. All is set for burial of the late Paramount Chief MPEZENI. In sports, Battle of the Zambezi headlines 4 nations as Zambia honors late MPEZENI. My name is Seidlitz Nkhonjera to give you the news in detail. Police in Western Province have picked up 2 men who are to assist with investigations into the murder, aggravated robbery and arson incident that claimed 7 lives in LUKULU district of Western Province. According to Western Province Commanding Officer Ray Hamonga, the 2 suspects are a nephew and a younger brother to the key suspect, Numbomate, who remains on the run. Their apprehension follows information gathered during investigations, including an identification of the key suspect by a 29-year-old survivor who is currently receiving treatment at LUKULU District Hospital for injuries sustained during the attack. Mr. Hamonga has since warned the public against harboring the suspect, stating that anyone with information on his whereabouts should report to the nearest police station.
The police service further wishes to warn members of the public against harboring or concealing the key suspect, Numbo Mate, as such an act amounts to a criminal offense under the laws of Zambia. Members of the public are strongly advised to immediately report to the nearest police station or any law enforcement officer any information regarding the whereabouts of the suspect. Further, as part of the ongoing investigations, crime prevention efforts, police officers visited Kabompo, Dongwe areas on the 7th of June 2026, which are suspected crossing points for stolen animals from LUKULU and surrounding areas. During the visit, officers engaged members of the neighborhood watch committees and other security personnel, urging them to remain alert and promptly report any suspicious movements of animals for verification purposes. Contact details were exchanged to strengthen coordination and information sharing.
Government says all is set for burial of the late Paramount Chief MPEZENI IV, Tuesday, 9th June 2026. Now, Local Government and Rural Development Permanent Secretary Nicholas Phiri has confirmed this during a media briefing held at Ependukeni Palace. Mr. Phiri has also confirmed that President Hakainde Hichilema will be in attendance.
Government says all is set for the burial of the late Paramount Chief MPEZENI IV, scheduled for Tuesday, June 9, 2026. Local Government and Housing Infrastructure Permanent Secretary Nicholas Phiri confirmed this during a media briefing held at the Ependukeni Palace. Mr. Phiri also confirmed that President Hakainde Hichilema is expected to attend the burial of the late Paramount Chief MPEZENI IV.
I'm happy to report that we have worked so well together. As we stand now, we are ready for putting to rest the king tomorrow. You may be aware that His Excellency the President will be joining the nation, the family and the province tomorrow in putting to rest the remains of the king of the So where we are at now, everything is set. The resting place has been prepared in accordance to the state official funeral, but also in accordance to the dictates of tradition and custom norms.
The Ngoni Royal Establishment has meanwhile emphasized that no political activities will be allowed during the burial of the late paramount chief MPEZENI.
We further wish to re-emphasize on our political players to get the area issue statement that we are not going to allow any political activity, gestures, even those that may wish, because we have a lot of trees here, climbing of trees, the tradition does not allow, whilst the Ngwenyama, ourselves, are seated there. No one should be anywhere higher than the dignitaries that will come to attend.
And House of Chiefs Chairperson Chief Wunda of the Sodi people has described the death of the late paramount chief MPEZENI IV as a great loss to the nation.
It's a loss not only to the Ngoni royal establishment, but to the entire nation. As you can see, the number of mourners around. The death of Nkosi has left that gap, that cavity in the family, in the nation. And it's not only God himself who brought us here under the sun, who can give us lasting consolation and the comfort to our troubled hearts.
Meanwhile, Zambia's ambassador to Malawi, Panch Kaunda, described the late paramount chief MPEZENI IV as a brother and unifying traditional leader.
The late was in real terms like a brother to me. Our late father is the one who put him on the throne, or witnessed his throne. And for almost 44 years, we were together to build Zambia. So we are losing a gentleman, or a man, almost at the wrong time, because we are going towards the elections and we need counseling and leadership from people like him. That we've lost him at this stage is a loss to the country, but we should not give up. Continue his legacy of peace, dignity, and development for Eastern Province and Zambia as a whole. So we miss him, but let him go and rest.
Also, the Deputy Ambassador of Malawi and Ambassador of Mozambique to Zambia signed a book of condolences at the Penduken Palace. Paramount Chief MPEZENI IV died on May 30, 2026 at the University Teaching Hospital in Lusaka and is expected to be laid to rest on Tuesday, June 9, 2026 at the Penduken Palace. Born David Jere, he was installed as Paramount Chief MPEZENI in 1982 and served his people for more than 4 decades. He is gone, but his voice, frank and courageous and deeply rooted in his people, will continue to echo for generations. For Crown TV News, Sambo David, Chipata, Eastern Province.
Thank you, David, for that report. Now, MAZABUKA Central Independent Aspiring Candidate Gary NKOMBO has accused state institutions of thwarting his planned campaign launch and the suspension of electoral activities in the constituency. Mr. NKOMBO alleges the Zambia Police Service unfairly stopped his campaign activities despite having prior approval to hold the event. He claims the cancellation is part of efforts to frustrate his participation in the election, citing what he described as a series of incidents involving police action, court processes, and electoral decisions.
Independent aspiring Member of Parliament for MAZABUKA Central, Gary NKOMBO, has become the talk of the day in the country as his political undertakings have attracted the attention of police and various stakeholders in the country's political dispensation. This follows an incident in MAZABUKA where police moved to stop his planned campaign launch at Ndeke grounds, saying he was scheduled to hold the event at a different location. The situation quickly escalated as police used tear gas to disperse his supporters who gathered for the event.
situation now. Well, I'm sure you'll follow it.
The action led to confusion and tension in the area, with supporters scattering as officers maintained heavy presence around the venue. In response, Mr. NKOMBO is accusing state institutions of unfair treatment, alleging that his campaign activities were deliberately being frustrated. He claims that the cancellation and police action were part of a wider pattern affecting his political participation. Mr. NKOMBO has since called upon the Electoral Commission of Zambia to act as an independent body, while also urging the police to restore the right to peaceful assembly. Reporting for Crown TV News in Lusaka, Chanda Mwango.
Aspiring independent candidate for Lusaka Mayor, Simon MWILA, has threatened legal action against the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, if it proceeds with the proposed withdrawal of the candle symbol allocated to his candidature. This follows the decision by the electoral body to withdraw the candle symbol from various independent candidates and replace it with another symbol, citing the need to avoid duplication and ensure clarity on the ballot paper ahead of the 13th August general election. Mr. MWILA has since formally lodged a notice of objection with the Commission and given it 24 hours to provide written confirmation that the symbol will remain unchanged.
Campaigns already in effect, various political parties and independent candidates are already on the ground campaigning ahead of the August 13th general election. With only 66 days remaining before polling day, candidates have already taken their messages to the people and introduced their campaign symbols to voters, with many investing heavily in campaign materials and voter education programs. However, in a surprising turn of events, the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, has suspended the use of certain symbols, including the candle symbol, after discovering that some of them conflict with symbols already registered by political parties. This development has affected a number of candidates who had already begun campaigns using the symbols. Among those affected is independent Lusaka mayoral candidate Simon MWILA, who was given the Commission a 24-hour ultimatum to reverse its decision and retain the candle symbol.
This morning I took it upon myself and wrote to Mr. Kasaro, the electoral officer, to explain to him and air my grievances. I understand that there are also a number of candidates who have been affected by this irrational decision that has been taken up by the ECZ. We hope they don't go ahead and bulldoze the system, because in their letter they are saying even if you don't appear, the ECZ will use its rights or within the law to impose a symbol that you don't even know of as a candidate. Now, I've given ECZ 24 hours ultimatum. If they don't do anything, we'll proceed and go to court. I understand that the judiciary is an independent body and arm of government, and it will do the right thing. It will help us. It will hear our cries and see to it that, yes, we've lost money, we've lost time, we've lost so much. To go back and start from zero, it's very unfair.
Mr. MWILA argues that changing the symbol at this stage would create confusion among voters and result in financial losses after significant investments in campaign branding and voter outreach.
Decision by the Electoral Commission of Zambia, our ECZ, is very unreasonable and very unfair to us independent candidates who are struggling in this hard economy to find money for campaigns. We have printed our regalia, we've printed our posters, we've printed our t-shirts, so many things, and we've educated the voters that when you go in that booth on that voting day, you are going to find my symbol being a candle and place an X at the end. Now, being told 2 weeks into this process, from the time we filed in our nominations, that such a decision has now been rescinded by the ECZ is not only a drawback, it's also it warrants to confusion. It's tantamount to confusion. Why? The people have already understood what they are going to vote for. Now, today I go back to the same voters and start explaining to them we've now changed the symbol.
The development has also attracted criticism from the Alliance for Community Action, ACA, which has described the matter as a failure on the part of the Commission. The organization says the issue should have been identified before nominations were accepted and has urged the Electoral Commission of Zambia to take responsibility for the inconvenience caused to affected candidates.
Before any nominations started, the Commission should have done an audit of the register to find out what party symbols already exist in terms of being owned or being assigned to political parties. And those should have therefore been excluded from use by any other candidates in this election. So the question therefore is, where was the Commission, what were they doing for this oversight to happen? Are they following the law in keeping the register? Because it's interesting that they don't even speak about their obligation to keep a register of symbols.
Reporting for Crown TV News in Lusaka, Chanda Mwango.
We now move to the letter to the president segment of the Grand News. This is a segment where you write a letter to the president and we get to read it live during the Grand News. You can send us that letter as a text message or as a WhatsApp voice note to the number 0974 314 807. Tonight's letter to the president reads,
Dear Mr. President, I write to you as a concerned citizen who is deeply committed to the progress and prosperity of our nation. As President, you carry the immense responsibility of leading Zambia through both opportunities and challenges, and it is in that spirit that I respectfully share my thoughts. While your administration has made notable efforts in advancing national development, many citizens continue to face significant economic and social hardships. There is a growing perception among some members of the public that their realities experienced by ordinary Zambians may not always be fully reflected in the information reaching your office. Strong leadership is strengthened by honest counsel. It is important, Mr. President, that those entrusted with advising you present an accurate picture of the challenges facing citizens, including concerns that may be uncomfortable but necessary to address. Open and truthful communication between leaders and the people is essential for effective governance. Your Excellency, sir, I humbly encourage you to continue engaging directly with communities across the country, listening to diverse perspectives and ensuring that the voices of ordinary citizens are heard at the highest level of decision-making. Such engagements, Mr. President, can help build trust, strengthen public confidence, and guide policies that respond to the genuine needs of our people. Zambians desire leadership that remains connected to their daily struggles, listens attentively to their concerns, and acts decisively to improve their lives. Addressing these concerns will not only strengthen national unity, Mr. President, but also reinforce the bond between the government and the people it serves. My sincere hope is that these observations will be received in the constructive spirit in which they are offered for the benefit of our nation and future generations. May God grant you wisdom, strength, and guidance as you continue to serve the people of Zambia. This letter is coming from a concerned Zambian citizen.
Time now for the weather update. A relatively moist southeasterly airflow will continue to influence the weather over most parts of Zambia. This will result in windy at times and warm to hot temperatures over the northeastern half of the country. Meanwhile, the rest of the country is expected to experience mainly sunny and slightly windy conditions with cool to cold night temperatures getting into tomorrow. The forecast for tonight: Central, Copperbelt, Eastern, Luapula, Lusaka, Muchinga, Northwestern, Northern, Western and Southern provinces will be mainly clear, slightly windy and mild to cool. This weather update is as compiled by the Zambia Meteorological Department, a department under the Ministry of Green Economy and Environment. We take a short break. When we are back, we have more stories coming up. Stay tuned.
On a busy day in Lusaka, right in the middle of a vlogging, Mr. Simon Mwela's phone battery died. Well, he knew what to do next. He called Zambia's top cell phone and accessories dealer. In a flash, problem solved. Across town, Dr. Sia Twambo was getting ready for a presentation when he realized that his PA forgot something. A quick call to Mobile City and his projector screen was delivered in no time. Meanwhile, Vana Fiasasa was about to leave for the village when she remembered she needed a phone upgrade. One call to Mobile City and a new phone arrived just in time. Vana Fiasasa snapping a selfie before hitting the road? But wait, I thought the other guys were in a hurry. For free, fast and reliable delivery, trust Mobile City. Beware of scammers. Mobile City Delivery. You order, we deliver.
Are you passionate about making a positive impact on communities? Do you dream of a career that combines psychology, social justice, and community empowerment?
Enroll in our June 2026 intake for the Diploma in Child and Adolescent Mental Health, community-based work with children and youth.
Dive into a transformative journey of learning and advocacy.
Immerse yourself in courses that explore human development, social policy, and diverse perspectives. Gain hands-on experience through community projects and internships.
REPSI is a TVETA accredited institution and offers all programs through online situated distance learning. You'll be empowered with the skills to create real lasting impact in communities.
Join us in shaping a brighter, more inclusive future for children and young people. Enroll with us for a program that equips you with the skills to create real, lasting impact.
To start your application, email us admissions.zambia@repsi.org or www.repsi.org or our Facebook page @REPSI-Zambia or call 0770-707-924. Together, let's make a difference through love, care, and protection for children.
The ultimate business stage is back. From the 1st to the 7th of July, the trade fairgrounds in Ndola will be buzzing with endless opportunities. But how does your business stand out in the crowd? You get on the big screen with Crown TV. We will be live in Ndola, ready to take your brand straight into the homes of millions. From primetime commercials to exclusive event coverage, we create advertising that drives real results. Don't miss out. Visit the Crown TV stand in Ndola between July 1st and July 7th or contact our sales team today to secure your special trade fair advertising package. Crown TV. Feel the honor.
Thank you very much for staying with us. We now continue with the news. An arresting officer, Nalumbe has testified before the court that incarcerated politician Rafo Nakachinda refused to honor a summons from the Electoral Commission of Zambia. According to Mono, Nakachinda argued that the commission lacked the legal authority to compel his appearance and had ceased to operate independently. The testimony forms part of proceedings in which NAKACINDA faces charges of failing to comply with a lawful ECZ summon.
A state witness has testified in the case involving Patriotic Front Secretary General Rafo NAKACINDA, who is charged with failing to comply with lawful summons issued by the Electoral Commission of Zambia. The summons were issued after he allegedly made claims that the UPND had dispatched vehicles carrying pre-marked ballot papers to districts where by-elections were being conducted. During the trial, arresting officer Malumbe Mono tells court that ECZ invited Mr. NAKACINDA to a meeting scheduled for November 7, 2022 to discuss the allegations he had made against the commission. Mr. Mono testifies that the invitation letter was delivered by Tina Msonda to both Mr. NAKACINDA and the PF Secretariat in Lusaka. The letter was received and signed for on behalf of Mr. NAKACINDA by Sylvester Piri in the delivery book. Mr. Mono further testified that on November 7, 2022, ECZ received a response from Mr. NAKACINDA in which he respectfully declined to attend the meeting. He tells court that he later examined the relevant documents and confirmed that ECZ had written to Mr. NAKACINDA and that a response had been received from him. The witness says he extended his investigations to the Zambia National Archives, where officials confirmed the existence of a newspaper publication related to the matter and provided him with a copy. Following his investigations, he decided to charge Mr. NAKACINDA with one count of failing to comply with a lawful summon, order, or directive of the Commission contrary to Section 13(1) F of the Electoral Commission Act No. 25 of 2016. According to the witness, Mr. NAKACINDA stated in his response to ECZ that he declined to attend the meeting because he believes the Commission had no mandate to summon him in the manner that it did. During cross-examination, defense lawyers questioned the witness on the contents of the indictment. Mr. Mono agreed that the charge before the court only related to the alleged failure to comply with summons and did not mention the allegations concerning vehicles carrying pre-marked ballot papers. Further, the witness acknowledged that the summons were received by Mr. Piri and that he had not spoken to Tina Msonda about whether Mr. NAKACINDA had instructed her to leave the letter with Mr. Piri. He also confirmed that he had not carried out further inquiries to establish whether the letter eventually reached the accused. When asked about the ingredients of the offense, Mr. Mono says the offense was based on the refusal to attend the meeting. However, he admitted that he did not have before the court a letter directly from Mr. NAKACINDA refusing to attend the meeting. Following the conclusion of the witness' testimony, the state informed the court that it had one witness remaining and applied for an adjournment. The defense raised no objection at this point, and now the court has adjourned the matter to July 10, 2026 for continued trial. Kundej, Sachingalasu, Ngandu, reporting for Crown TV News in Lusaka.
And now, in an item just received, the Electoral Commission of Zambia has suspended election campaigns in MAZABUKA Central. In MAZABUKA Central constituency until further notice due to what it describes as an unstable security situation in the area. The Commission says the decision is aimed at maintaining peace and ensuring a safe environment for citizens, candidates and other electoral stakeholders during the ongoing campaign period. The Commission has also acknowledged the action taken by Zambia Police Service to suspend public gatherings in the constituency, stating that it will continue monitoring the situation in collaboration with security agencies and other relevant authorities. Meanwhile, the ECZ has strongly condemned incidences of violence reported in Kabwe Central and Chawama constituencies. The Commission further says it is reviewing the incidents in consultation with relevant authorities and will determine the appropriate course of action in accordance with the law. And now, Vice President Mutale NALUMANGO says government has heightened preparedness measures and remains committed to preventing any possible outbreaks of the Ebola virus disease in Zambia. Ms. NALUMANGO says, although the country has not recorded any confirmed case of Ebola, its proximity to affected countries such as the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda necessitates increased vigilance and enhanced surveillance.
As Uganda and the Democratic Republic of Congo continue to deal with outbreaks of the Ebola virus, government says Zambia remains on high alert despite not recording any confirmed case of the disease. Vice President NALUMANGO says the country's proximity to the affected nations, coupled with increased cross-border trade and movement, places Zambia at risk and underscores the need for heightened surveillance. In a statement on Zambia's preparedness for Ebola, Ms. NALUMANGO says government has strengthened screening and monitoring measures at airports, border posts, and other key entry points to ensure that any suspected cases are quickly identified and reported. She has noted that government is working closely with all relevant stakeholders to ensure that surveillance, screening, and response systems remain effective and coordinated. Ms. NALUMANGO has also emphasized that Ebola is a public health concern that requires a whole-of-government approach, adding that efforts are underway to address operational gaps and ensure the country is fully prepared for any potential outbreak.
Through the Ministry of Health, the Zambia National Public Health Institute, provincial and district health offices, and other relevant government institutions, we have undertaken a national assessment of our readiness to prevent, detect, and respond to any possible threat of Ebola virus disease. This assessment has covered surveillance, laboratory testing, infection prevention and control, case management, border health measures, emergency coordination, risk communication, community engagement, logistics, and the availability of essential supplies. It has also helped us to identify and address operational gaps so that resources are directed where they are most needed. Surveillance has been heightened across the country. Health workers have been placed on alert to promptly identify and report any suspected cases. Case definitions and reporting protocols have been reinforced in health facilities, while rapid response teams remain available to investigate alerts and take appropriate action. Our laboratories are prepared to receive and process samples safely and efficiently, and referral pathways are being strengthened to ensure that any suspected case can be isolated, transported, and managed in a safe, dignified, and timely manner. Screening and health checks have also been reinforced at key points of entry.
Meanwhile, Ms. NALUMANGO says government remains committed to safeguarding public health through strengthened surveillance systems, enhanced laboratory capacity, rapid response mechanisms, and continuous public awareness campaigns. She has also called on members of the public to ensure that they observe high levels of good hygiene and report any cases of suspected Ebola.
Inform the nation that our systems have already demonstrated vigilance. Recent alerts of suspected viral hemorrhagic fever were promptly investigated, and both were confirmed negative for Ebola. These investigations are a reminder that preparedness works when communities report early, health workers act quickly, and public health systems respond decisively. The government remains firmly committed to safeguarding the health and well-being of our people in Zambia. We will continue to monitor developments in the region, work closely with neighboring countries, collaborate with regional and international partners, and keep the public informed as the situation evolves. Zambia will continue to act in line with sound public health practice, national laws, and international health obligations. I call upon all citizens to remain calm, alert, and responsible.
For Crown TV News, Tawanda Munyuki.
The judiciary has held a 4-day induction workshop for newly sworn-in judges following the swearing-in of the 40 judges by President Hakainde Hichilema on the 27th of May 2026. that the workshop has been organized to orient the officially welcome the judges into their new roles within the judiciary. Speaking at the event, Chief Justice Dr. Malila has welcomed the new judges to the bench, encouraging them to execute their work professionally according to the laws of Zambia.
On 27th May 2026, President Hakainde Hichilema swore in 40 judges to serve in the Supreme Court, Constitutional Court, Court of Appeal and High Court. Following this development, the judges have gathered Monday morning for an induction workshop aimed at orienting and welcoming them into the judiciary. Speaking during the event, Chairperson of the Chief Justice Advisory Committee on Training and Continuing Education, Pixie Yangailo, welcomes the judges to the bench as custodians of the law, stating that their profession carries immense responsibility. Ms. Yangailo explains to the judges that every court has its own jurisdictions, expectations and responsibilities. However, the workshop had been arranged to equip the judges with the knowledge and guidance needed to execute their duties wisely and effectively while advancing justice in Zambia.
Your appointment or elevation is both a significant personal achievement and a reflection of the confidence that the Republic of Zambia has placed in your ability, integrity, competence, and commitment to the administration of justice. Whether you're assuming judicial office for the first time or transitioning to a higher court, you are joining a profession that carries immense responsibility. The decisions you make will affect the rights, liberties, property, and livelihoods of those who come before the courts. The judiciary therefore welcomes you, not only as colleagues, but also as custodians of the rule of law and guardians of public confidence in our justice system.
Speaking at the same event, Chief Justice Dr. Malila encouraged the judges, reminding them that people of Zambia have entrusted them with the responsibility of ensuring fair hearings and delivering justice. Dr. Malila further urged the judges to regard the credibility of the judiciary as their personal responsibility and that challenges may arise in the course of their duties, but he encouraged them that their role is not to make popular decisions, but to remain firm and uphold the law.
Let me say something about a perception, maybe real in some cases, about making justice a purchasable commodity. Do not, I mean corruption, do not make justice, court decisions, a purchasable commodity. Avoid at all times being lured into making decisions merely because some individuals will oil your hand. When that happens, it's bound to be discovered at some point anyway. And think about the consequences. The many years of hard work, all the investment that you have made into yourself will come to nothing the moment you make decisions a purchasable commodity.
He also cautioned them to make professional and impartial decisions, noting that judgments should never be influenced by money or any other improper considerations. Additionally, the Chief Justice advised the judges to avoid involvement in partisan matters and remain independent as they conduct their duties.
There are many instances when you will be poked to react in a political manner, to react to political rhetoric. As a wise judge, you will be well advised to remain silent and only speak through your judgment. It is very tempting to want to respond. Don't. Okay? Don't. Can you hear me at the back? So, this induction program, which has been organized, and thanks to the Chief Administrator and her team, for you is not to teach you because you already know the law. It is merely to emphasize some significant aspects that you will have to contend with on a daily basis as you handle people in your courts.
Kundej, Sachingalesu, Nandu, reporting for Crown TV News in Lusaka.
4 years after Chilembo Community School opened in MWILA Wamangu ward of Luwingu Central Constituency, pupils are still learning under grass-thatched shelters and tree sheds due to the absence of permanent classrooms. School authorities say the lack of proper infrastructure continues to disrupt lessons, especially during the rainy season. Head teacher Moses Kumwenda says the community has repeatedly tried to build and maintain the structures, but without adequate resources, they keep collapsing. He has appealed to government to intervene and provide decent learning facilities for learners.
Since 2022, the children of Chilembo Community School in MWILA Wamangu ward in Luwingu Central Constituency have been holding their lessons under grass-thatched shelters at Chilembo School. For them, learning continues no matter the weather. School head teacher Moses Kumwenda shares the daily struggles the school faces and the strength it takes to keep the children in class. Despite the hardship, the community has not given up. Parents and residents come together to patch the shelter and support the learners. But without proper materials, the structures keep falling apart, leaving the children exposed to the sun and rain.
This school twice isula 4 years ago. So apa ifwe mukuikala na mkusha community imi bombe trebomba kulelo amaka ya community na fwe nifika tapa fitunga shitefingi. But government ngabatulolo shako bamona kwa manda bamona kwa amanda kama buildings bamoneka ko bwino pakwati nabana bena bali attracted to school. So I didn't get mind sabana bali ka school. Ama board yala lukwa yaona ikagento amba kushitafingi.
Now, the community is making a heartfelt plea to government to give the boys and girls of Chilembo the chance to learn in safe classrooms where their dreams can grow beyond the shade of a tree.
But maybe but prioritize my infrastructure more to desk, ama building, and board, ama choko, ama offices, and fowls feel like Alamanda. So pali mi akamsema kumona kwa 12 outside but shishi venga bakutumwena kwa namushane banga twala mashu kumtanshi but government ila bomba wino lelo pali fokutiba tumona kwa namushane.
Resident Simon Moa says the community has waited too long for leaders to act on issues that touch the heart of village life.
Iri skuru nali minina nombanga chakweba ati mwabika mwabantu abale bombera pamona kateka iri skulu tali akapwisha no mwaka nishinali kwa bantu kuno skuru ekintu ekikulire sana moneni ntamfu ya kuya kumwanda makula ku skuru kulya nantamfu ya kuyo na ilepa so trefu atu abombera pali kinshi pe skuru.
In Chilembo, the spirit of the community keeps the lessons going, but all they are asking for is a roof over their children's heads, a simple foundation for a brighter future. Chanda Wellington reporting for Crown in Luwingu.
The assent to 5 bills by President Hakainde Hichilema into law has been welcomed by some stakeholders in Luapula province. The move marks a significant step towards strengthening social protection and expanding access to education in Zambia, the stakeholders have said. Now, the laws signed last week include the Public Service Pensions Bill, the National Pensions Bill, the Local Authorities Superannuation Bill, the Pensions Regulation Amendment Bill, and the Education Amendment Bill of 2026. President of the Local Authority Association for Human Resource Practitioners of Zambia, Christopher Mwanza, says that the legalization demonstrates government's commitment to improving the welfare of citizens. Meanwhile, the UPND Luapula Province Chairperson Alfred Mwape has described the Education Amendment Act as a lasting investment in future generations.
President of the Local Authority Association for Human Resource Practitioners of Zambia, Christopher Mwanza, has congratulated President Hakainde Hichilema for assenting the 5 bills into law. Mwanza says the move is a historic milestone that reflects government's determination to strengthen pension schemes and ensure retirees leave the public service with dignity.
I want to state that this is a very commendable and welcome move by the President. This is a historical moment which needs to be celebrated because we are seeing serious commitment by the government to ensure that they uplift the welfare of citizens, retirees especially, by ensuring that they strengthen the laws that govern the pension schemes and ensure that the retirees, even as they retire with dignity.
He says the enactment of the laws provides a stronger legal framework for social protection while enhancing confidence among workers approaching retirement.
Previously, I think the superannuation fund was not very strong in terms of its security. Many people, I think, ended up even leaving the fund because they were not so sure that their pension would be very secure, but now it has become mandatory and that there's a lump sum that to be paid, which was not there previously. When you retire, you are to be paid bit by bit.
Meanwhile, UPND Luapula Province Chairperson Alfred Mwape says the decision to enshrine free education into law will be remembered for generations to come.
Just last week, even the Bible says a good parent leaves inheritance to his children. Because body loves you, body cares for you, and body delivers. He signs the free education into law. That is the greatest equalizer of all time.
Stakeholders have since expressed optimism that the newly enacted laws will contribute to improved livelihoods, stronger social protection systems, and increased education opportunities for Zambians. Chikondi Piri, CrownTV News, Mansar.
Thank you, Chikondi, for that report. We take a short break. When we are back, more stories. Stay tuned.
This June, step into a bigger entertainment experience with more to love on us. We're talking more drama, more action, more unforgettable stories, all waiting for you. We're opening up our world of entertainment so you can view more. Okay. This June, pay for your current GoTV subscription and we'll upgrade you at no extra cost.
Landeni tuminene
amuleke lumitiseze
shiteni tumiretere abuna tu afyanta manga fulani kimwai kibati wanu na fyata chizo in the mix balala pandalama ba fyanta ma
mwakokola sana okwebati mshebai chipekita mwesabene bamakoeni mu Zambia namba 3 wani chimpundula asho aba umwe abakosere
kuwina kumobo city ukutamba no kuwina kila mulungu kasondo ku Crown TV ne nshita ya 19 sate ifya kuwina
Mobile City, the phone's paradise.
Former Ndola District Commissioner Joseph Piri, who recently resigned from the United Party for National Development and filed as an independent aspiring candidate for Ndola Central, has withdrawn from the race and pledged to support the party. He said he suffered for and nearly died for under the brutal PF regime. Speaking at a press briefing in Ndola, Mr. Piri called on party members and supporters to unite behind the UPND and work tirelessly to ensure victory in the forthcoming elections. He said the UPND is bigger than any individual, adding that he was convinced by President Hakainde Hichilema during a phone call to reflect and understand that there can only be one member of parliament at a time.
After back and forth between former Ndola District Commissioner Joseph Piri and former Ndola Central Member of Parliament Frank Tayali, one of them has realized that the party is bigger than their personal differences. Today, the United Party for National Development UPND in Ndola District has received another boost following former Ndola DC Piri's decision to withdraw from the race and pledge to work for the party.
I've withdrawn to be a member or Senate member aspiring, and I've gone back to my political party, which is UPND. I work tirelessly without conditions. For those who may be thinking to say, I'm not for sale. For those of you who know me very well, I'm a principled person. I make my own decision at the right time. And even President Hakainde Hichilema cannot even waste money on me, because if you go to my page there's still HH of Ndola. So how can President Hakainde Hichilema buy me? His own. I'm his own, and he's my own president.
Mr. Piri says President Hakainde Hichilema convinced him beyond reasonable doubt that the party is bigger than any individual, hence the need to iron out their differences.
Okay. Yes, as a person, I've got my own interest, but I'm looking at a bigger picture. Zambia is bigger than myself. The party is bigger than myself. So I'm convinced after the president called me, HH, can we work together the way we used to work? Who I am to say no? I said, no, Mr. President, I'll do what you have said. So that's why you have found me here. And I want to declare that from now on, I've gone back to my political party, which I suffered for in 2021. If you go to the archives, you'll find that I was on top there, almost being killed with the president. So how do I let it go?
Speaking at the same press briefing via phone call, UPND Copperbelt Provincial Chairman Elisha Matambo welcomed Mr. Piri's decision, describing it as a demonstration of party unity and political maturity.
You have used wisdom and you have done a great thing to come back home. And I think you have respected the president for extending his honorable branch to everyone to stay. And Mr. Piri is coming. That shows that he respects the head of state. Provincial chairman for Copperbelt Province, I want to receive Mr. Piri with both hands.
The UPND officials present also added their voices.
All of us, sometimes we can have our own issues here and there. That is bigger than ourselves as individuals, because we are here because of people having big heart for this party, UPND. And UPND is bigger than Rufunda, UPND is bigger than Inyama. I can live today, but the party still remains big and very popular.
Our mandate as leadership, especially in the Copperbelt, we want to deliver what we ought to. So as a province, I think I want to call upon peace, issue-based campaigns. Let us campaign on policy, what we are going to deliver to the Zambian people.
For now, the agony is for Mr. Piri's followers who believed in him, but whether they like it or not, they will still have to swallow the bitter pill. Reporting for Crown TV News, I'm David Kunda in Ndola District, Copperbelt Province.
Thank you, David, for that report. Now, an international conference aimed at cutting down road injuries and fatalities across Africa is underway in Lusaka. The AfroSafe Academy Conference has brought together road safety experts, researchers, academics, and advocates from across the globe to share data, technology, and strategies that can save lives on African roads. Speaking on the sidelines of the event, Zambia Road Safety Trust Secretary General Paul Mwanza says Zambia still faces serious gaps in its road safety response. Also addressing delegates, Professor Alexei Lorenstein from Lund University in Sweden stressed that African countries need systems that are designed specifically for their context. Here's a report.
An international conference aimed at cutting down road injuries and fatalities across Africa is underway in Zambia. It is called the AfroSafe Academy Conference, and it has put in road safety experts, researchers, academics, and advocates from around the world. The mission is simple: share data, technology, and strategies that can actually save lives on African roads. Speaking on the sidelines of the meeting, Zambia Road Safety Trust Secretary General Paul Mwanza did not mince words. He said Zambia still has serious gaps in how it handles road safety. Speeding, drunk driving, poor road infrastructure, and weak enforcement traffic laws are all pushing the accident rate higher.
Most of the issues that are going to be discussed, we are looking at the status of safety in most of these countries when it comes to road use. There are certain issues that need to be addressed as a nation, and these that have come to actually talk about the same issues, they've come to impart knowledge on us so that the issues of road safety in this country can be addressed. And there are certain things that are supposed to be put in place where ministries have to come in and bring up proper solutions to these situations that we have been going through as a nation.
Then came a warning from abroad. Professor Alexei Lorenstein of Lund University in Sweden told delegates that Africa cannot just copy road safety models from Europe and hope they work. He said African countries need systems designed for their own context. That means laws and infrastructure tailored to protect everyone, but especially children and cyclists who are most vulnerable on the roads today.
This course is meant for professionals working with traffic safety. We really want to teach them, to share with them the knowledge how successful countries like Sweden and Netherlands, how we think, what to prioritize in traffic safety. And it has to do very much with not blaming individual people on drivers or pedestrians, but rather designing a system where we kind of nudge people to behave in a safe way. It has very much to do with driving at safe speeds, not speeding. It has to do also with using seat belts, using helmets, but also very much to think about protecting those who are not protected. We cannot expect children, for example, crossing safely roads when there are no facilities for them to cross safely. We cannot blame children for dying on roads when we haven't provided for them.
Other international delegates echo the same point. Solutions have to be local if they are going to work.
There's a massive investment in better rural roads. Better rural roads with no potholes where you can drive fast. But the pedestrians are still using that to go from village A to village B because it's such a good road. And now the cars can drive 90 per hour. And if they hit the pedestrian, it is killed. And in the past, you could not drive 90 per hour, at maximum 50.
For Zambia, the agency is clear. RATSA data shows that over 2,000 people died on the Zambian roads in 2024 alone. That marks road safety not just a transport issue, but one of the country's most urgent public health challenges. Anton Chomba, Crown TV News, Lusaka.
Thank you, Anthony, for that report. And now, our reporter and staffer, Makokwa Kozi, reports that a non-governmental organization, a Life Initiative for Change, has embarked on empowering women-saving groups with knowledge to better manage resources and withstand the collapse of donor funding. Speaking during a governance training for self-help groups in Lusaka, Organization Chief Executive Officer Olivia Mwaba Zulu says her organization has trained women in group governance, financial accountability and leadership. She said this empowerment will enable women to manage their resources transparently and build institutions that survive beyond project cycles.
Men drawn from different self-help groups within Lusaka. They are gathered here to receive training in financial management and governance from Life Initiative for Change. The goal is to equip these women with skills to manage their groups effectively and make informed decisions. The training covered key areas such as financial record keeping, budgeting, and decision making. Speaking at the training, Life Initiative for Change CEO Olivia Mwaba Zulu says the organization wants to empower the women so that they can become self-sustained.
So today we are having a training on governance and leadership skills for these groups, and the training is meant to strengthen their capacity as savings groups. So also I wanted to mention that the groups that we have targeted on this project were initially savings groups, but then they have been transitioned to self-help groups because there's the difference between the two. Savings groups are centered on loans, on funding, on savings, but then the self-help groups centers more on other initiatives that the groups can also venture in.
With this training, Life Initiative for Change is empowering women to take charge of their communities. This is according to Partnership Liaison Officer Paxina Lesa.
We are confident that these groups are committed to the program, and the program is a success because of the strengthening that we are giving them through the governance training today. So most of the groups have showed up, and what we are looking at right now are the bylaws that govern the groups they are from in their self-help groups. So through this training, we are confident that when they go back, they will be able to adhere to the set rules which will be agreed upon in this meeting and will be enforced.
And the women are happy with the training that they have received.
This program, Yabaliki, it has really helped us as women. We have learned a lot and they have empowered us. They have boosted our businesses. We have been given micro grants that we are helping each and every woman together. We have achieved something, so we have benefited a lot through helping each other. Now we've got our own money that we can lend to the group.
Meeting tabwerera tsiku ya lero tapunzirako vambiri na ubwino mamene tingankalire buka group katu tichite bwanji tigwirizane na chikondi mamene tingatandizane na wanzatu bajawa kuti niwavutika.
We've come here at the LIC company because the LIC, they teach us how to empower each other, climate change, and how to self-help each other. We've learned a lot, how to build each other, and they've taught us how to self-help, how to maintain our monies, like making self-made projects.
As these women apply their new skills, they will be able to drive positive change and create a lasting impact. Reporting for Crown TV News, Marco Kwakozi in Lusaka.
You're watching the Grand News on Crown Television. We take a short break. When we circle back, we have sports. Stay tuned.
Everyone wonders why I'm always jovial and happy. Every day, every time. At work, even under pressure. At play, always under control. Even with Bay, I always shine. And today, I get to share my secret companion, Best Kombucha. Gives me the energy but also boosting my immune system as I go by my day-to-day activities.
Toileta mami we best kombucha sonwemu. Toileta daddy we best kombucha sonwemu. Iye nani best kombucha. Best kombucha. Iye nani mwa kombucha.
Now you know.
Best kombucha. Iye nani best kombucha. You three come best kombucha.
Baba ulefwaya usende akia munani. Padi iyi nshirakusha no kutunga shuwa.
Alala kentrande na imwe. Mbona niwamingisha nomba mnganda?
Ha?
Mbona niwamingisha mnganda?
Takaina pa kulala yero fili fulu. Tabano kuningala la mwanjini. Na aisa vemwiza kamana.
Vibu fili chalo kense kukosa vendasa kama na fyo mweowe.
Abantu abalefu efyupo muno mu kyalo bengi sana.
Nomba ina wamwisa nali upo hapo.
Ina ne ali kunombera ine pano wafe. Olwo abantu abaleta mboti bakweba. Atukweba ati ine nshau papo. Nshakwatapo mwana.
Ine ninjipelesha kulima ngamuli serious. Munjo ati ndi serious. Kozi ine shirafu okusebana ku kyalo.
Kuti wana pa beneka.
Ibo mwefa kupa ine. Ngakwala omwana kashuwa isunga pano pa kyalo. Pona aba.
Vingani na imwe. Waza pikira de vingani.
This sports news is sponsored by Nutricom, the manufacturers of Best Kombucha and Divine Power Kombucha.
You're watching Crown Television's Grand News. Time now for sports. And before we get to the details, let's have a listen from our sponsor.
Everyone wonders why I'm always jovial and happy. Every day, every time. At work, even under pressure. At play, always under control. Even with Bay, I always shine. And today, I get to share my secret companion, Best Kombucha. Gives me the energy but also boosting my immune system as I go by my day-to-day activities.
Toileta mami we best kombucha sonwemu. Toileta daddy we best kombucha sonwemu. Iye nani best kombucha. Best kombucha. Iye nani mwa kombucha.
Now you know.
Best kombucha. Iye nani best kombucha. You three come best kombucha.
Time now for the sports in detail. The Zambia football fraternity will tomorrow, Tuesday 9th of June 2026, join the nation in observing funeral protocols during the Four Nations tournament in Ndola in honor of Paramount Chief MPEZENI IV, who passed away on 30th May 2026 after an illness. President NAKACINDA'S has declared a day of national mourning to pay tribute to the late leader who served the Ngoni people for 44 years and made significant contributions to Zambia's cultural heritage, unity and traditions. Football Association of Zambia Communications Manager Sydney Mungayla confirmed the observation during the interview on ZNBC's Radio 2. He said the gesture reflects football's values of unity, respect and resilience. Mongala also highlighted that the tournament is providing important preparation for the Copper Queens ahead of the upcoming AFCON competitions. He notes that the fixtures have allowed the technical bench to assess the squad, with another friendly match planned in North Africa to further sharpen the team. In tomorrow's final, Zambia will face Zimbabwe in the highly anticipated Battle of the Zambezi at 18 hours, while Kenya's Harambee Starlets will take on Lesotho.
Well, of course, Four Nations was an opportunity for teams that are preparing for the WAFCON to utilize the FIFA window that falls between June 2 and 9 to prepare for the WAFCON. And obviously, the initial plan was to organize a game with Burkina Faso, Kenya, Zambia and Zimbabwe. We had a challenge with Burkina Faso because they pulled out at the last minute. So the idea was that in preparing for this tournament, we are looking at teams that are aligned to the group that we are. So if you check in that group, we have Nigeria, which was why we had identified Burkina Faso for this tournament. And also, if you look at Malawi, who are a Southern African team, we had hoped that by playing Zimbabwe, it would give us a bit more insight on the type of play we should expect from Malawi. So, and as you know, we also have Egypt in that group. So, not to really jump the gun, we have already organized a game in North Africa in the final stages of preparations to make sure that we have covered all the angles. So, that's how come we ended up roping in Lesotho, who are an emerging team. So, we ended up having Lesotho, Zimbabwe, and Kenya in this tournament. And you saw the pairings. The first game was Zimbabwe playing Lesotho, and they beat Lesotho 3-1. It was a very good game because obviously Zimbabwe are also an emerging force in the women's game. I think you know that the president has attached great importance to this assignment, and he traveled to Ndola to not just watch the games but also interact with the players and technical bench. I think his idea was to try and re-emphasize that this opportunity is meant to prepare for the WAFCON, and he urged the players to take this opportunity very seriously because it is going to give an indication of what to expect at the WAFCON. Remember, this WAFCON is a qualifier for the World Cup. Top
Royal MPEZENI United Football Club is mourning the death of Paramount Chief MPEZENI IV. The club says the Paramount Chief, who died on 30th May 2026 at the University Teaching Hospital in Lusaka, was a leader who truly loved football.
United Football Club is mourning the death of Paramount Chief MPEZENI IV. The club said the Paramount Chief, who died on 30th May 2026 at the University Teaching Hospital in Lusaka, was a leader who truly loved football.
Mwachimozi kula ku ground anatipangira ground and then anatipangira na dressing room olo ikaliyose la dressing room lifuna sirije apa anatipromisa kuti afuna timangire stadium nkupiyenzemo kale pasogola but nyosa sina mangike so nizinthu zimodzi amene mwetivinga kambeko ndiponso sponsor soti niweve zoti sponsor nkhanya ku ground anatipromisa soti na moto kalosa kuti atigulire kuti tikoyenderamo pakuyamba kwa ligi koma apa sitizi wakamene kwetizangenera
ndise vantu olila chifukwa nkosi inali kutulumikiza tonse pamoja anali kutuza kuti tifika tinkale anthu okondana.
The team says his support helped young people stay away from illicit activities.
Kota ya msogoleri kapena patroni watu amene atithandiza kwambiri. Patroni watu wa nkhosi ya MPEZENI vanali na cholinga popo limbikira kuti timu inkhalepo vanali na cholinga kuti ise vachinyamata pankhale maukwati yang'ono eri mareki ezolesa inkosi ya makosi komanso vaukawalala ezotipasa bize yakuti tikazipezeka na masevera ava kuti tireke vira vosamvera pakati pawo.
Real MPEZENI, he has been the main sponsor. The main sponsor, it was like a personal team And this team has been exposed. He has traveled with them extensively. Chimene nikakumbuke kwambiri is kwamene kwaenda timu yao. You know, it's not easy for a king of that status to be following a football team. It showed the passion he had. And I remember the time they came to play with Sinda United, that we chatted with Nkosi Marcos and was saying how I wished where we are heading to, we can bring in many partners, because I don't want my youth to get scattered in an event of me not being a sponsor or not being there, as if it was a dream. That was last year. Yamena Nakambako. So my only word of advice and appeal, the advice to the team is remain united.
Born David Jerry was installed as Crown Chief MPEZENI in 1982. He will be laid to rest on Tuesday, 9th June 2026 at Pendukeni Palace. For Crown TV News, Sambo David, Chipata, Eastern Province.
And on that note, we wrap up the sports news.
This sports news is sponsored by Nutricom, the manufacturers of Best Kombucha and Divine Power Kombucha.
And now, here is a recap of the stories making headlines tonight. Independent Lusaka mayoral candidate Simon MWILA threatens legal action over Electoral Commission of Zambia's scandal symbol withdrawal. NKOMBO accuses state institutions of targeting MAZABUKA Central campaign. All is set for burial of the late Paramount Chief MPEZENI IV. And in sports, Battle of the Zambezi headlines 4 nations as Zambia honors late MPEZENI. My name is Seidlitz Nkhonjera. Up next is Spotlight at 20 hours. Don't miss.